PAVITR PRABHAKAR. PAVITR PRABHAKAR. Obviously sounds like Peter Parker. PAVITR PRABHAKAR. I had to look that up on how to pronounce it because I didn't want to say it wrong, and I'm still likely going to say it wrong because I have to think about it every time. I can't just quickly say it. But PAVITR PRABHAKAR. PAVITR PRABHAKAR. Like Peter Parker. Okay, so we got his name out of the way. Here we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Wave 2. We have Spider-Man India, PAVITR PRABHAKAR. So, very exciting. I'm very excited for this one. Very excited for the Miles G. Morales. I'm happy with the whole wave. I think the Gwen Stacy was the most unnecessary one. So, you know, there's that. So that will likely be the last figure that I review. But all around, I'm really excited for this wave. I watched this movie again last night because I knew Amazon was going to deliver 5 of the 7 from this wave. Such a good movie, and in fact, I'm going to watch it again as soon as I'm done recording the review for this. But awesome. You know, I think this is a figure that we all wanted when the movie came out. It has been, I don't know, a year and a half or whatever since the movie had come out. And we still don't have an update to Beyond the Spider-Verse other than, yeah, there's no release date. We don't know when it's going to be coming out. They had to like redo some stuff and scrap a bunch of it. So who knows? But anyway, revisiting Across the Spider-Verse, Hasbro has now given us a wave 2, and we have PAVITR PRABHAKAR, so we can look at this figure. So again, exciting. So the accessories we have, I don't know, this was like a yo-yo thing. I don't know what it's called. Forgive me for not knowing that. We get 1 extra set of hands, so it looks like he's got grip hands. He's got a fist for his right hand and then an open hand for his left. No thwip hands, but I don't know if he had a standard thwip or if it was he used this. I'd have to look. But then we get a masked head and an unmasked head sculpt. So everything on the card is really the same from Wave 1 other than it just says Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, whereas the other Wave 1 also said Part 1. That's when, you know, it was designed at the time when the movies were going to be Part 1 Across the Spider-Verse, Part 2 Across the Spider-Verse. Now we know that the third movie will actually be called Beyond the Spider-Verse whenever that film actually ends up coming out. You can see here we have the cross-sell of the entire wave. We got the Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Punk, Peter Parker from Into the Spider-Verse. That is the 1610 Peter Parker, the one that dies at the beginning at the hands of Kingpin. We have Miles G. Morales, Prowler, and then again here, PAVITR PRABHAKAR. So here we go. Let's get him out of the package and take a closer look. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are getting closer and closer and closer. With your help, I know we can do it. I post action figure reviews all the time, so if you like what you see here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, so PAVITR PRABHAKAR. Yeah. Really good figure. There's some things, I wish it had butterfly joints, because if it had butterfly joints, it would be way better than it is. Or like a neck hinge as opposed to the dumbbell joint would be a really, really, really good figure. As it is now, I still think it's a really good figure, but if it had the butterfly joints and the disc hinge at the neck, really would have set this figure apart from a lot of other Marvel Legends. This one already does, because we got a couple of things that we don't typically get with Marvel Legends. He's got a ball joint at the waist. Shocking, I know. Hasbro doesn't do this for the Marvel Legends figures. Every once in a while they'll do it, but that's typically because there's no other torso articulation. We have a diaphragm cut and a ball joint waist on this guy, which is awesome. At first I was thinking, man, there's no thigh swivel. That kind of sucks. But there is a swivel just above the knee under like those pants there. So really good things going on with this figure. Let's go ahead and get in for a closer look, see his accessories and see the design of the figure. We'll take a look at the articulation and see how he looks amongst the other Spider Society. Okay, so here's a close look at PAVITR PRABHAKAR. So here we have his yo-yo accessory that has like the web on it. As you can see, the web design look really good. The yo-yo itself doesn't get any kind of design. I think there was some red color and stuff like that in the movie. It's just this gold plastic piece, and then he can grip it on both sides there, so that's cool that we have this accessory. He can't really do anything else with that, so just a heads up on that. So out of the package, we get these 2 grip hands, as you can see there. The left has the standard horizontal hinge. The right actually has a a vertical hinge to it. And then you could see on the back, there's a little bit of design. I don't know if that's supposed to represent kind of a henna design, but it has kind of a gradient, shadowy look to it, and that looks pretty good. Similar to the spider web pattern on his mask and neck, as you can see there. That's the kind of the tie-in to make him like a classic Spider-Man style in there, and that looks really good. As you can see, the markings on the mask and the design came out looking good. The hair, I believe the hair is the exact same to the unmasked head sculpt. Like if oh no, well, I guess it could be the same. Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah, the hair is actually the same. So here's the masked head. We're gonna go ahead and pop that off, and we'll put the unmasked head on there. The PAVITR head sculpt as like there. One thing about these animated ones, I feel like some of them look a little soft. Like the X-Men 97 Rogue. This kind of reminds me of that, where there's something about the color, the plastic coloring of his face just looks a little soft. There, but I think it does overall look pretty good. I will be keeping the masked head sculpt on there because I always like the masked looks for them. But looking at the rest, we get this web pattern there. We get this like henna style design there. These gold bands there, so nice gold color. Looking at the spider design there on the front, and that looks really good. Good line work on the gold and the white. There, looking at the back, same thing. You just kind of have to line up the torso, and that looks really good there. And then you get these blue stripes, along the legs, and these gold bands. Then you see his toes are exposed in there. But yeah, it just looks really good. And just so we have an up close look, see the swivel is inside that pant leg in there, which is crazy. But yeah, there we go. Looks pretty good. The other accessories, I wish he came with more hands too. So as it is now, he has left open hand or wall crawling style hand, and then a fist for his right. I wish we would have gotten 2 fists, 2 open hands. Unfortunately, we did not. But now let's go ahead and zoom out for his articulation. Okay, PAVITR's articulation. So the head, unfortunately, can't look up a whole lot. The dumbbell joints, Hasbro has not perfected that. So most figures, they have a difficult time looking up. Looking down, he somewhat can get a full rotation in there, and because of the ball joint, you can do some pivot going on in there. The arm you can get to go straight on out, upwards a little bit. I really wish this would have had a butterfly joint. That would have really made a big difference. But full rotation in there. You got an upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbow, gives you that much bend at the elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. All the hands are standard horizontal hinge except for the right grip hand does have a vertical hinge on there. This gold band right here is removable, so if you didn't want it on there, you could remove it. Not sure why you would want it off, but it is there. I'm surprised they didn't just make it part of the sculpt. Here on the right arm, one thing that is cool, we get the time-traveling dimensional watch, whatever it's called. I don't remember if it got an official name in the movie or not, but we got it. Gwen comes with one. Spider-Man 2099 comes with one. I have to double-check on if Spider-Punk comes with one. Amazon did not deliver that one today. That one will actually be delivered tomorrow, hopefully, if Amazon's order status stays true. I will see if he comes with one. So it's nice that we get these this go around, because we did not have those in Wave 1 for Spider-Man 2099 or Gwen or Spider-Punk. There. The articulation. So I had mentioned this earlier. So we have a diaphragm cut. The diaphragm gets a decent amount of tilt in there. See, that's just the diaphragm alone. But there's a ball joint waist, so he can tilt all the way to his left that much. That's crazy. You never see that much out of a Hasbro figure. And then going to his right, that much there. Another, just incredible how much range we actually get there. Going back, you can go back really, really far there. Tiny bit of gap in there, but nothing too bad. Coming forward, you go that far forward. And then if you incorporate the hips, you can get him to go down quite far. You get a swivel at that ball joint. Circular motion. You could swivel at that diaphragm cut if you wanted to as well. The legs are not drop down, but you can get them apart that far. He can kick forward that far there, which is good. The leg goes back tiny bit. Again, swivel just above the knee inside that pant leg. Double jointed knee. Pinless as well. The elbows were pinless too, so that much bend there. No calf swivel, ankle swivel, or anything, but you get a foot that hinges down all the way. A little bit of hinge up, but that ankle band there gets in the way of the hinge up. And then you have ankle pivot, tiny peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So those are not going to be like standard peg holes that you would use for other Marvel Legends. Because PAVITR, he is actually kind of small. I think he'll look good size-wise next to Gwen and Miles, but Spider-Punk, he's going to look pretty small. But, you know, I still really like it and have fun with it. Okay, so again, and I'm not the greatest at posing, so those of you guys that have been with me for a while will know that I'm just not great. That's not my forte. I wish I was better at posing figures. Unfortunately, I am not, but every now and then I feel like I can get somewhat decent, you know, Spider-Man style pose. I wish we had like better webbing to be able to kind of do this, but this is what we've got. So that is what we will use there, but you can get some fun stuff. But now let's go ahead and go on to some comparisons. Okay, so here we have the Mumbattan scene. We have the 4 main core. Well, I don't know if he would be, because he stayed behind in Mumbattan, but Spider-Punk at least went back to Spider Society in Nueva York. So just the Mumbattan scene, I guess. So we have Miles, we got Gwen, we've got Hobie, and then we now have PAVITR there, and they all look pretty good. I don't remember PAVITR being so short in comparison to Miles and Gwen. I'm going to watch the movie again. So that might be a flaw in the scale. And then now that I'm looking at it, Punk's pretty tall compared to the other one. So I'd have to look. If anything, PAVITR might be a little too short. But it's also hard to tell with the whole animated style. You know, they're very stylized Marvel Legends figures, where typical Marvel Legends figures, proportionately in the design and style of them, all kind of match each other. Whereas the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, obviously, is extremely stylized to match the animation of the films, which is good. So that kind of goes along here, but so I don't know if it's just Hasbro making him a little too short, or if he's scales real well with them. But let's go ahead and check out some other spiders. Okay, so this is who we've got in the movie. I added Jessica Drew and Spider-Man 2099. I could add the Cyborg Spider-Woman, but, you know, she's obviously quite large and, you know, doesn't really fit in scale-wise. Plus, they never shared screen time with PAVITR. Although, at the end of the movie, if we take out Jessica Drew, we take out Miguel, we can add in Spider-Man Noir, because he was part of the group at the end. And then, was he? I want to say Spider-Ham was there, right? He may not have been, but let's say he was going to. You know, we could add him in. One thing that we never did get, though, we didn't get a Penny Parker. Now, Sentinel did make a Spider figure with a Penny Parker technically, and then Hasbro in the kids toy line gave us a Penny Parker that, you know, just looks a little funky. It's not articulated in any way. I don't even know if she'll stand on her own. I don't think I can get her to stand on her own. And then, like, toy wise, we had the mech suit, but, you know, that's not really Legends. It's not articulated in any way. But yeah, so we have them there, and again, I'm super excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. But for now, we have our PAVITR Prabhakar, and he looks good with this grouping. And then, of course, PAVITR letting everybody know where the traffic is in Mumbattan. But anyway, awesome figure. I really, really like it. The ball joint waist and the diaphragm cut. I would love to see Hasbro continue doing that articulation scheme with figures. You know, we've gotten diaphragm cut and inverted ab crunches on some, and yeah, that's cool, but this is the better way to go. You know, G.I. Joe Classified series, they could do that, but Marvel Legends, I know it's obviously a more difficult thing for them to do in terms of cost per figure, because, you know, there's no licensing when it comes to G.I. Joe Classified series. But I'm really, really happy with this figure. Definitely one of the ones that I was most excited about. SH Figuarts is going to be releasing this guy as well. I don't know scale-wise how that's going to work out with the Spider-Punk. Again, he seems pretty small. The best that I could see, just looking up a Google search for images and stuff, you know, when Miles and PAVITR are having chai I was going to say chai tea, but, you know, that's like saying TT instead of, you know, because chai is tea. But anyway, like Miles did seem pretty large in comparison to PAVITR in that particular scene, but they were sitting down. So I didn't really see where they were standing right next to each other to get a good gauge as far as the height. But I do feel like it is a little bit small, so I can't say for certain, but what we do got here, I do really enjoy. I got mine from Amazon. I'll have a link in the video description below. I don't know if it's in stock or if it's going to be shipping out soon. I'll also include a pre-order link to Big Bad Toy Store. They should be receiving it pretty soon. I think Hasbro Pulse also updated release dates for them. Entertainment Earth, I know, has shipped out full assortment cases, so they're starting to hit. I don't know if they're, you know, they're going to be at retail, Walmarts and Targets. I don't know when exactly, so be on the lookout. But, you know, I got some pre-order links in the video description below if you're looking to pick them up. But you guys give me your thoughts on this PAVITR Prabhakar Spider-Man India figure. I would also like a comic version. You know, we could get the Web Warriors if we get a comic version. That would be pretty cool. But you guys give me your thoughts on the figure down below. Is it one that you pre-ordered? Are you looking forward to it? Or do you already have it? Give me your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. So close to 50,000, and as always, thank you for watching.